Hey guys, so this is for Guided Reading Group 3. So if you're not Guided Reading Group 3, you need to go find the video that corresponds with your Guided Reading Group. But for Guided Reading Group 3, before we get started, I want you to think about what a tournament is. So most of you probably know what a tournament is. The biggest one is probably like football and basketball tournaments. They are a series of games or contests where individuals compete against one another. But I want you to think of some tournaments that exist today. So whenever you hear the word tournament, what kind of tournaments do you think of? I'll give you a second. So the one that I think of the most is the big college basketball one because there's a whole month dedicated to it. Also think about the NFL tournaments, determine who goes to the Super Bowl. Trying to think of other things. They have like gaming tournaments too, which is maybe some of you are more aware of that than I am. But there's a lot of different ways to have tournaments. Today you're going to be reading the book called March Madness. So like I said, that big tournament that has a whole month dedicated to it would be March Madness. Some words that you're going to have to know before you read this book. Single elimination. That's whenever a team loses one round or a game in the tournament, they're no longer allowed to continue in that tournament. So let's say during March Madness, if it was single elimination, if you lose the first game, then you're out for the rest of the tournament. You have no chance of winning. A bracket is a grid that pairs opponents in a tournament, so you could see brackets whenever they do the March Madness thing. You can create your own bracket to predict who will win at the end, and it just sorts out all the different teams that are competing. A committee is a group of people who consider or decide on a course of action. So you probably have like a March Madness committee who decides how the tournament is going to run. The underdogs are the ones who are expected to lose or not do the best in a contest or maybe even a tournament. So probably the ones who have lost pretty much all year, they're going to be the underdogs in the tournament. So based on the picture and what I've told you about March Madness already, I want you to think, what kind of genre do you think this book is? While you're reading, I want you to think about the author's point of view. So we're tying in what we learned in the beginning of the weekend to this Guided Reading Group activity. Who's telling the story? Is it told in first person view, second person point of view, or third person point of view? So think about the words that are being used. Is it I, we, and me, you or your, or them, they, or actually says their name? That will help you determine if it's first, second, or third person. And then after you figure that out, I want you to think, is the way that the story is told, does the story change because of who's telling it? And then I want you to think about tying in from last week what we learned. What is the author's purpose for writing this book? Remember author's purpose? We have 3 reasons authors write. Think of PIE. Persuade, inform, and entertain. So, remember, point of view, who's telling it, does the story change because of who's telling it, and then the author's purpose. You're going to be able to access this March Madness book by going into Raz Kids and then going to your assignments like you normally would. It's not anything complicated this time. Make sure that you record yourself for a minute, maybe a page or 2, so I can give you feedback on how you're reading, okay? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. You can message me on Class Dojo or on Classroom, okay?